Officials in New York are demanding an investigation into the death of a nearly blind refugee who they say Border Patrol agents simply dropped off after having picked him up. 56-year-old Nurul Amin Shah apparently spoke little English. Officials say the agents left him at a coffee shop in Buffalo on the night of February 19th. His body was found 5 days later. Shah Alam had just been released from jail where he was awaiting trial on misdemeanor criminal charges. The local DA says the case was resolved as a misdemeanor plea. Immigration officials were notified before his release, determined he was a legal refugee from Myanmar. Immigration officials say Shah Alam was offered a courtesy ride, which he chose to accept, but not to his home, to a coffee shop, which those agents determined to be a warm, safe location. The statement adds he showed no signs of distress, mobility issues, or disabilities requiring special assistance. Joining me now is U.S. Congressman Tim Kennedy, who represents Buffalo, New York. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you, Jim.
So my first question to you is, from where you're sitting, did the CBP follow protocol here? Did they do all they needed to do to ensure his safety when they released him?
Well, first and foremost, Jim, thanks for having me. Our community is hurting right now. You know, once again, we are seeing the cruelty of the Department of Homeland Security. We have an individual, a refugee here legally, Mr. Shah Alam, who came here just a little over a year ago, and he is now dead. The last known interaction that he had was with the Department of Homeland Security. And there is a pattern that we continue to see now in the city of good neighbors, Buffalo, New York. His family laid him to rest today. Our hearts, our minds, our prayers are with his family in Buffalo. And I ask our country to pray for his family and pray for our country. We are better than this. Mr. Shah Alam, again, a legal refugee, blind in one eye, blurred vision in the other. We're told from his family and his lawyer that he was unable to navigate on his own. The last known interaction, once again, picked up by the Department of Homeland Security, detained, and then dropped off at a coffee shop. Whether or not that coffee shop was open or not remains a question. What he was wearing that evening remains a question. There's more questions than answers, which is why I've called for a full and complete investigation of this incident.
As you know, following the violence, the deadly violence in Minneapolis with the ICE and CBP activities there, the administration said it was pulling back. I believe the phrasing President Trump used is a softer touch. But we see a case such as this. We saw a student at Columbia taken out of a dorm today, though she was later released. From your perch, do you see any evidence that federal immigration agents are actually employing a softer touch in these raids, which they, of course, continue to conduct?
Well, not with the reports that we're hearing from all over the country. First and foremost, whether it was New Orleans or Los Angeles or Minneapolis, we know that there was a surge of ICE agents, and certainly they've argued that they've pulled back, but ICE, the Department of Homeland Security, the Trump administration has zero credibility. Yeah. And so that's why we need an independent, full-scale, transparent investigation of why there is a refugee here legally who fled persecution, who fled oppression, came to the United States with his family for a better life, and is now dead. Dropped off at a coffee shop on a cold winter's night in Buffalo. His family was not notified. His family waited 5 days, filed an incident report, could not find this man. He couldn't speak English. He couldn't communicate. And yet, because of failed policies, they dropped him off and to fend for himself miles from his home. Yeah. So protocol certainly is called into question. Process certainly is called into question. And certainly, once again, the ineptitude and lack of leadership all the way to the top in the Department of Homeland Security, under Secretary Kristi Noem has already been called into question, which is why I have called not only for her resignation, but if she doesn't do the right thing and resign, we've called for her impeachment.
Do you believe that holding the line on additional funding for DHS is making a difference at all, right? Because, I mean, the raids continue, and they already have an enormous pot of money from the big, beautiful bill. Is that stand impacting things, in your view?
Well, Donald Trump and congressional Republicans would rather shut down TSA, shut down the Coast Guard, shut down FEMA, instead of making accountability measures that the American people are demanding to an out-of-control ICE agency. And so we have got to hold their feet to the fire. The American people have demanded accountability within the Department of Homeland Security. And we must continue to drive that message forward to create that accountability and create trust once again in our government, where this administration has failed our country.
Congressman Timothy Kennedy, we appreciate you joining the program.